Marx was right all along. He predicted that workers would be exploited and that surplus value would line the pockets of capitalists. Look at our society today. Workers are not rewarded in proportion to the value that they generate. So how can we build a society in which we have humane wages, proper levels of income, rather than suppressed wages, without directly enforcing higher wages with the hand of the state? This is mission undercover. We have to recognize that workers are not being rewarded in proportion to the value that they generate. Firms have billions and billions in profits. These are large conglomerates with operations worldwide. Yet workers who supply them with these profits have meager wages and are not given the full rights that they deserve. Then there is also the issue of iniquitous wage differentials. Care workers are not even paid half of company executives, despite having far more onerous responsibilities and a far greater value to society. This is the system that capitalism has created. We measure not social value, but we measure financial increment. How should we respond to this? What we need in response is stronger unions to represent these exploited workers. Not all workers are exploited, but the erosion of union power, the erosion of representation for the working classes is having a deleterious effect on the outcomes that we are seeing in society. Sectoral bargaining is necessary so that we can hold power to account, so that we can raise the floor rather than pushing down the ceiling. We also have to have a fairer tax system, a tax system that doesn't penalize working people, a tax system that stops rewarding billionaires and the ultra wealthy. We need a tax system that rewards working people for the efforts that they put in, a tax system that is fair and that is just, that is equitable. This is a reality that we will never see unless we destroy the corporate capture that is engulfing our government, our media, and all levels of our society. This corporate capture is destroying all of our social outcomes. This corporate capture is the reason why Andy Burnham was blocked from becoming the Labour candidate in the by-election today. Labour had the opportunity to build a better future, to build a society for the many, not the few. That is the vision that Burnham was offering. That is what Burnham had created in Manchester. Yet Keir Starmer and his cronies in the NEC blocked progress. They blocked change. They blocked the progressive alternative that we were all waiting and hoping would emerge from within the Labour Party to take this country out from decline and take it into an era of renewal and progress. This renewal and this progress will be always restrained if we maintain the same system, if we maintain the continuity that is keeping the entrenched systems of power in place and strengthening them, making them even deeper ingrained within society. It is essential that we take a stand against this decline, against this degradation of our principles, of our morality, of the hope that drives all people to strive for improvement. This is a consequence of the actions of corporate media, the actions of the corporate interests that have engulfed our government. Lobbyists are running our country. As I've said previously, lobbyists continue to influence everything that happens at the government level. All the decisions taken, the number one priority is appeasement of these people, these vigilantes, these criminals, these vagrants, these evil people who are destroying our society, who are leeching at our society, who are attaining personal enrichment whilst destroying the structures that are keeping them at the highest level of it. It is essential that we destroy this corporate capture that is destroying our societies, the corporate capture that is ensuring that people are pushed into poverty rather than raised out of it. But this does not mean we disregard Labour's current contributions towards working people. Stronger employment rights, a fairer tax system by taxing the wealthiest. That is the incremental change that Labour under Keir Starmer has provided. Progressive change, capping rail fares, free breakfast clubs, increased funding for all public services. This is the vision that we have been delivered. A new radical curriculum that is helping to improve the lives of children. Opportunity spread to all parts of the country with a fairer funding formula. This is the type of thing that we are seeing within Labour, but also we have seen policies which have been to the detriment of this vision, this progressive vision which is trying to sneak its way through the Labour ranks and into the policy platform. But it has been shrouded and concealed by all the mistakes and all of the inadequacies of the Labour government. If Keir Starmer and his communications team were better, maybe that story would have been different. If Morgan McSweeney was not venerated as some kind of saint that was the sole person responsible for driving Labour into power, then maybe we would have a different reality. Maybe if the media was not enveloped in corporate capture, trying to destroy the Labour government's progress at every turn, if the House of Lords was not filled with Tory cronies and supporters like the Lib Dems who lended their hand to the Tory blockers, then maybe we would see faster progress, greater change. But no, the instruments of power are restraining progress as they have always done since the dawn of time. It is essential that we drive through the change that is necessary to deliver for working people, and only Labour can deliver that. The compassionate path of reform and change is the key to improving the lives of millions of people. As well as stronger representation, we need workers to have a greater stake in society. This means having citizens' assemblies to put power back into people's communities. This means decentralizing power as much as we can to the local level, accelerated devolution, rather than centralizing power in the hands of Whitehall and Westminster, a machine which is broken and a machine which chokes progress. To stop the development of a new feudal class amidst the AI revolution, we need co-determination for workers to be part of business decisions. This will stop abuses such as disproportionate payouts to shareholders, the prioritization of financialization over the value and hard work of real people. We also need minimum worker ownership, where a certain proportion of a company is owned by a trust of its workers to ensure that economic power and economic authority, the position of workers within society, is secured and fairly distributed while still rewarding entrepreneurship and innovation and risk-taking. Cooperatives are the future of ethical business and are an economic necessity to rebalance society in favor of working people. Karl Marx told the workers of the world to unite, for they had nothing to lose but their chains. They are still in chains today, oppressed beneath the steel boot of corporate capture, financialization, and exploitation. The instruments of society are uniting to crush working people beneath this steel boot of oppression. We need radical change and a progressive vision of renewal and progress to arrest our decline and to build a society that finally serves the many, not the few.